Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Rita's Book Club. On this episode, I'm talking about Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. This is the first book of the Vinemas duology, and I was very curious to read it. I love books set in small towns, but I really like that this one talks about wine since that's also part of my childhood. So it was very cool to have a rom-com in this setting. Ali Welch fell hard for Julian Voss at 14 after they almost kissed in the dark vineyards of his family's winery, and now the prodigal hottie has returned to the small town. When Haley is hired to revamp the gardens of the Voss estate, she wonders if she will finally get that smoosh. But the grumpy professor isn't the teenager she remembers, and their polar opposite personalities clash spectacularly. One wine-fueled girls' night later, Ellie can't shake the sense that she did something reckless, and then she remembers the drunken secret admirer letter she left for Julian. Julian, on the other hand, is on sabbatical from his Ivy League job and plans to write a novel. But having Haley gardening right outside his window is the ultimate distraction. She's eccentric, chronically late, often literally covered in dirt, and so beautiful that he can't focus on anything else. Until he finds an anonymous letter sent by a woman from his past. Even as Julian wonders about his admirer, he's sucked further into Ali's orbit. Like the flowers she plants all over town, Hallie is a burst of color in Julian's grayscale life. For a man who irons his socks and runs on tight schedules, her sunny, chaotic energy makes zero sense. But there's something so familiar about her and her very parentheses turning his world upside down. I found this book cute and sweet with a dash of reality check for both main characters. Actually, I think the two of them resolved a lot of their own issues to help them evolve, which I believe was the main point of the story. Them not changing for each other, but to be better versions of themselves. Haley and Julian are definitely part of the sunshine versus grumpy trope, and the clash between their personalities was so damn sweet and soft in a lot of moments. The chemistry between them was right there from the very first moment they interacted, but it was also filled with a past only Hallie remembered. So it was very interesting to see Julian's frustration in trying to figure out why she was so familiar and he was so drawn to her. But the click was brilliant. I also believe that the representation for Julian's anxiety disorder was very well made, and you felt like it was something that he had to work a lot on. And you get that feeling that it's going to be something that Julian will work outside of his relationship with Holly. He was protective of the people around him, and the fact that his anxiety was triggered by it was a punch in the gut for me, especially when he realizes that really important to get this part of the story from a man's side. I was really digging the whole plot of the Secret Admirer letter because I was feeling like it was an outlet for both Julian and Haley to express their feelings freely. But I was a bit sad that it felt like a side plot. It's a part of their story, of course, but I was hoping a lot more, I guess. Nevertheless, it was very cute to read their letters to each other, and in Haley's case, to see her finally make some important realizations, not only about Julian, but also about her life and her future. I think it really helped her to move forward in her life without her grandmother by her side. Got to say that seeing Julian mending his relationship with his mother and sister was also extremely emotional to me, especially with Natalie, his sister. We learned through the whole story that they were never a family to share their feelings, but when Julian pushes it, we are able to see a beautiful connection between them and the world of possibilities to see an even deeper one. And the better banter between those two was just hilarious. Of course, there was also the whole troop of small town people trying to save a business, which I also loved it so much. The second book of this duology is going to be released later this year, and it's called Unfortunately Yours. It's going to be focused on Natalie's own story, and I just can't wait for it. I'm really curious to see a continuation and an exploration of their brothers' banter in this one. As always, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at ritasbookclub for more content. Thanks for watching and see you next week. Happy readings!